Hi, everybody. Welcome to this month's live webinar. It is all about getting your class listings tables ready within Jackrabbit. So if we haven't met before, my name is Marie Baldwin, and I am the training specialist here at Jackrabbit. But class listings, I will be very honest, are not my strong suit. So we actually have Melissa, who's going to be presenting today, and as well, Carrie, who's also part of our web integration team. She's going to be there watching the chat. And as well, Rebecca is going to be checking the chat as well. So we've got somebody from Atri, nice, all over Arizona, North Carolina, Tampa, Martha from Huntersville. Hi, everybody. So before we get started, just to go over a couple of quick housekeeping items with all of you. This recording is this webinar is automatically recorded, and you will get an email with a link to the recorded version towards the end of this week. Again, a lot of you are getting used to the chat over there on the right-hand side. You can use that to ask any questions that you want. And then as well, where you see the word chat, just to the left of that, you'll see an arrow that is pointing towards the right. If you want to minimize the chat to make the presentation screen bigger, by all means, go ahead and do that. If you run into any connection issues, if all of a sudden you can't hear somebody or your screen is blurry, you can use F5 to refresh your screen. And as well, if after that you're still having a little bit of trouble, it helps if you can close out all of your other tabs. And then that just makes the connection a little bit stronger for you. So before I turn it over to Melissa, I'm just going to go over how you can stay connected with all of us here at Jackrabbit at any time. So first off is by reaching out to support. You can either submit a ticket, request a phone call, you can request a checkup call, as well. You can always do a quick chat. Chat is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. In the top right-hand corner of your Jackrabbit database, you will see our resource center. Our resource center has access to different training links, upcoming training webinars, upcoming marketing webinars, as well as access to some quick hit videos that you can access. Next, I'm just going to talk for a second about our Jackrabbit training system. So you can get to this through our training options within the Jackrabbit Help Center. It is a self-paced, self-guided training. And then once you or one of your staff has completed it, then they actually do get a certificate saying that they have gone through all of the modules. And then the last thing just to mention is our Jackrabbit Facebook users group. So if you're not already a member there, you can go ahead and request access. We do check that everybody is an actual Jackrabbit user before you are in. So if you are requesting, if you can, just try to remember to add in either your location name, your user ID, or even if you just know your org ID, so we can get that ready for you. And that is it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my microphone. And Melissa, you can start your share.
I'm going to share again. Bear with me a second. The entire screen. Okay. Got it. Okay. So first, let me go back to a little housekeeping on the quick chat. This is typically, if you need help with your class listings tables, typically not a quick chat. You might want to submit a ticket. Oftentimes we will have to do a screen share with you to see exactly what you want. So if you're showing us your website and you say, hey, I want this here and help me make this code, we can do that. But typically chat is not a good platform for that, just because we have to kind of dig around and ask you what you want and how you want it presented. But I'm going to go through some resources here that we have today, and you can always schedule those calls or send in those tickets, and we're happy to help. This is my most favorite part of my job is this particular thing. It's creative and it's fun. So most people have what they call the web guy. You may be that guy or that girl. Lots of times it's a one-man show with our small places, and they handle the website and Jackrabbit and the billing and everything together. So if you have this on your plate too, it's not hard. If I learned it, I promise you anybody can learn it, because it is there's lots of little pieces to it, but once you get the basic knowledge and you can do a little training on it, you can certainly figure this out. So if you're paying that guy big bucks to do your website, don't do that. You can do this. Marie, I'm seeing my mouse a million times on the page. Do you see it one time or a bunch? I don't hear you. You are? I don't, okay. Now it stopped. Okay. It's acting kind of weird. Okay, anyway. So in the Help Center, we have this big document. It has a lot of information for online class listings tables. So what you're going to do here is I'm going to glaze over this, but you can certainly look at this in your own time. Your class settings, online class, so your basic table, and this depends on what kind of website you have. And I'm going to call out a few. You may have WordPress, very popular, Squarespace, very popular, very big, very robust platforms that can do a lot of magic, but you got to learn how to do that magic. On the simpler side, you have Wix, you have Weebly, and then there's plenty beyond that. There's just hundreds of these different platforms. GoDaddy, we had one called Rain the other day. So there's a lot of different point of sale systems too that do websites. But we'll do our best to help you with whatever it is. Typically, a regular HTML code is going to drop right in. Today, I'm using a Wix site as my test one, simply because it's on the simpler side. And I'm going to use what we call a direct link in there, because this has to happen in Wix, because on the mobile view, it needs to be the direct link. But I'm going to explain JavaScript and direct method to you. What we're going to ask you first is we're going to figure out what kind of website platform you have when you need help. But of course, you can always go in here and do this yourself. So the code and the link for your basic tables is here. Here's the JavaScript code. So if you're WordPress, your Squarespace, you're going to pick this code right here. Here is direct. So either one of these, and I'm going to demonstrate what these do. I'm going to use this direct link in mine, and I have my Wix site pulled up here. So I'm blank. I don't know what to do here. And most of them will say about the same terminology. They just are going to be in very different places on each platform, and they all look different. WordPress and I think Squarespace has themes, different plugins and things like that that are all going to look different and function differently, but we can help you navigate that, hopefully. So on this one, I'm going to say I want to add to my website. I'm going to embed a code, and I'm going to embed, first I'm going to show you HTML. So what I get is a block, and you're going to get something similar to this same block. But let's go build this code. We need our org ID, and that's in Jackrabbit. And if you're in Jackrabbit, you can easily find that under Account, My Account. If you don't know that number, it is right here. So it's always there. So I'm going to take this code from the Help Center, copy it just as it is, and I'm putting that into my editor. Except I have to change out that X to that number that I just showed you.
Melissa, Martha from SwimMax said you can
just kidding.
see it on their website if you want to bring it to your website.
Yay, me! They change. They'll change how they do things too. For some reason, they've put this new.
She's got the link over in the chat
there, and that did not used to be there. Let's hope we get that one. And of course, on the webinar today, it's not going to work the way I need it to. We're going to go here.
And then just also too, just while you're bringing that up,
should have deleted my table
Tina
completely.
asked, would it still say enroll if they are already signed in as an active family?
Well,
so when they click on the register and it brought up your
Carrie,
web
do you see something that I'm doing crazy?
I don't. You said you entered website address, right?
I've done both. Done both of them. Got a website address here. I think it has something to do with this page on my website. We're going to go to a different page. Let's go to summer camps. Going to add in here, add in our site. I want to get to the point where it's even there for us. Boy, Marie's going to rethink that. Okay, I'm going with one that I already have it here. Let's pull you out of the way. So if we were to put in our general class listings code, and we'll help you get that code. Geez Louise. Go down here. We can edit this code, and this one's really stylized. Suppose I want to take away this description. This description is very big and it makes it chunky, and maybe I want to clean this up a little bit. So you have some customization options on your table. We can hide any columns. We can add several columns as well. And this is in this help document. We have a section at the bottom. So when you get a nice document that you like in the Help Center, always go to the bottom to the related things, and that's kind of where everything you need is here. We can filter it, so we can say we just want a category 1 of recreational. Maybe we want classes listed in a table just for that one group. We can show different columns. We can hide different columns, and what these documents show is what code you need to add in, what portion you need to add into your code to make that happen. So suppose we want to hide description, gender, openings, end date, session. I'm going to just take that whole thing. That's an example, but we're going to take it and edit it into, put it into our code. Let's go here. You want to put the customization after your organization ID, which is here, and that's the code that I showed you, the number you can find in your database. You always want to put it after that, and as you split out things in your code to do, you have to put this ampersand. So we're telling it, this is currently saying, here's the organization ID. Let me put mine in there. And then we want to show only category 2 classes of course. I don't know what we might show that for, but you can certainly do different tables for different things. Update this guy. Devil, it's giving me a trick today. I apologize, guys. I think it's my editor. Let's get rid of the brownie face. All right, we're going to play with this one. Suppose, again, we want to hide some columns. We can go in here and we can say and hide calls, which is that code that we called out. Description. That's all I'm going to hide to begin with. Carrie, you got me. I don't know what's up. Do you see what's going on over here?
I'm not sure what's going on with your Wix website either. You seem to be doing it. I mean, usually with Wix websites, you're only going to use the direct code and you're going to enter it as a web address. The other thing you can do if you're just playing around with the codes is you can open up a new tab and just do it in a new tab.
We're going to do that right now. Thank you. Let's just keep it that way for a minute. So good call. We're going to hit hide calls. I'm going to play with this code. Suppose I want to get rid of that description. You have to spell it right, and if there's ever a space or a wrong word, it's going to break that code completely. So we've told it we don't want to see description completely. Maybe we want to sort it. We can sort it by class name. We can sort it by day of the week. We can sort it by start date. There's so many options that you can do in here. It's still a little junky to me. I want to clean it up a little bit more. So I'm going to go hide some other things. I'm going to say I want to hide gender and I want to hide ages. And we'll keep it at that. So as we take away columns, you'll see it gets neater and neater as it goes. Maybe I don't even need session in there. We have people that totally just put the class name, the day of the week, and the time. That's it. And it makes it really clean and nice. The start, end, and the class starts and class ends. Big misconception right here is class starts. It is not called that when you go to sort it and hide it. It is called, let's see. Let me go here, filter, right here. We're not filtering, we're filtering by, we can sort on that. Let me just go sort first, I'm sorry. And sort calls, no, sort, just sort. and sort equals. First I'm going to sort it by class. So if you look at the class name, you'll see that it's going to sort it alphabetically. Okay, so maybe I want to start with that. Maybe I don't want that at all. Maybe I want days of the week. I can go days, and now it's sorted all the Mondays together, the multiple days together, goes into Friday and Saturday. So you can sort, you can hide columns, you can show columns, we can show like instructor, and then we can bust these up and group these into smaller tables. So for an example, I have this customer example, and we have plenty of other examples in the Help Center for you to look at depending on what genre you are. I was under dance. If we go to client website examples, you can choose what might be your genre here and kind of look at another table and see how it's broken out. So this one looks nice. They have it broken down here. It's really working against me today. Okay, and then if we go to, say, dance with me, we're going to scroll down, and this is their table. So they have these broken out into these different groups, so we can have as many table groups as we want. You don't have to have one big, giant, long scrolling table like I have here. We can go in and tell it we only want a category 1 of ballet. So when we say to you, if you were to place a call and say, hey, I need my class listings tables, we're going to ask you what you want and how you want them broken down. And the way you can tell that is here. We typically use category 1, 2, and 3. Category 1 is your revenue category. Category 2 and 3 is typically what we use to group classes together. So if I were to go pull a category 1 of camp, I can pull all my camp classes together into one table, which is what people typically do. I would put in the code, and that's from the Help Center. I would say cat 1 equals camp. And I'm going to put an ampersand. So what that did was that only brings my camp classes or my classes with the category 1 of camp. So we're going to ask you, what groups do you want? And you have to tell us what the designation is on the class. A lot of people say, it's my Tuesday hip hop class. Well, we can go look at Tuesday and we can look up hip hop, but if you can give us this reference, this is a whole lot better. And again, these are not related to revenue. Cat 2 and Cat 3, typically used for grouping together. So if I wanted to give them, maybe I could give it day of the week and say, I just want the Tuesday classes here. Or maybe I want, like, these are 1 hour or grades. So we can give it different genres. So if we go in and change it from, we can give it a Cat 3 of 1 hour. I can also say, show me ballet in the 1 hour classes. So there's multiple ways to sort your, filter your class tables. Well, let's go jazz. Let's go jazz, and then we had a cat 3 of 1 hour. I want to explain what I'm typing in here. 1 hour, and so what that did was show me my classes that have a cat 1 of jazz. You can see it here, cat 1 of jazz, and a cat 3 of 1 hour. When I typed in the 1 hour, most editors, you have to have a space holder for a space. So it was 1 space hour. So I have put in %20. So it's 1%20 is that space holder, an hour. So you're going to have to do that for a space on most of them. Some of them I see it does work without it, and you can just put a space. Others you have to put in that space holder in there, which can get kind of long when you put a bunch in there. So that was our jazz. So now you can see we can have a different table here for jazz. We can have one here for ballet. We can have one here for tap. So we would just need your references to how you want them broken out, if that makes sense. Let's see, sorting, filtering, that's what we just did. We filtered those down. We can sort them. They've redone this. There we go. This is the best document because it has everything on the bottom of what you need. We can sort the rows, which we did by day of the week. We can hide some columns. We did that. We hid the description. We hid gender. We hid the ages. We can show columns. So when we do this one, we can say, and show calls. So we can say, show the location and show instructors. So if we put that in, we're going to keep everything that we had and just keep building on this code. Show calls equals instructor. put our ampersand in there because we've given it another thing to go on. Instructors. See, one word can knock it out. So here's our instructor name. So because that is called instructor, and I put instructor with no S, it didn't work. So it has to be spot on. But again, these codes are all in here that you need. Plenty of examples. We also have one called tricks for query strings. So this is kind of nice too, with a little bit further customization. You're going to find some websites that you look at and say, gosh, that looks good. They're with Jackrabbit. It's awesome and amazing, and they do all kinds of weird stuff with it. They've colored the buttons. They've changed colors. We can supply for you this document that gives you the chance to do a little bit of customization. You can hide the register column completely. You can change the header color here. You can change the style color, so the text color, you can change the color there. But as far as completely tricking it out, you're going to have a web designer for that. So these things are easily added into this basic code that Jackrabbit supplies to you. Anything beyond this, it's a little tough to do just straight out from what we supply to you. I always love to do Arial. It's easier to read to me. If I don't take Arial, it's Times New Roman. Let me take it off just so you can see the difference. It's just, to me, easier to read in Arial. If you're going to choose a funky font, make sure it is a web safe font, because everybody may not have. One of my old favorites was Mr. Sirloin. Most people don't have those funky fonts, so you want to be sure. You can always trick it out on the page and put headings and titles in between your tables in a cool font, but the table itself needs to be a web safe font. This one is perfect. It's easy to read. It's clean. The gray bars make it easy to sort and see what I want to do, because as a parent, I might want to see they have it sorted here by class first, then by day of the week. So I can say I definitely want Dance with Me, and I have Saturday open from 9 to 9:45. That's perfect to me.
Awesome. Thank you,
Now,
Melissa.
when
Thank you,
people click
Carrie.
on the class that they've chosen, they're going to get your web registration form, and that would open this. So their web registration form is here.
That's
It's
it.
just
And
the regular one that you
thankfully,
see.
Carrie was on. She
Some
answered
people
quite a
will
few
have a
questions
link
there
to
in
this
the chat,
registration
Elvis.
form,
And you guys
which
are
you can
all
take, put on
very,
your
very
website,
welcome. So
and
remember,
they
you
can
will
just
get
go
a
here.
recording of this
But this whole webinar is
in the
about
chat
class
there
listings
before
tables.
you
A lot of
go.
people will
If
have
you
both.
wanted
They'll have a
to
link to the reg form
just take
and the
note
class
of
listings
the
tables.
email
You can
address.
also place
And
the link
then
to your
one
parent
last thing
portal
that I
on
have
your
for you is
website as
I
well, which
do
you
have
probably likely already have
a
it
little
on there.
checklist. If you guys wanted to
Let's see
download
what
that,
else
you
we got
can
in the help
do
center
that
for
as well.
that.
That just for
So
you for when you're
let's
going
look.
over
We can look at
everything.
a couple
And that is
more
it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you,
examples.
Carrie.
Oh, my
Thank you,
kids is
Melissa. And
big,
also, thank you,
which is
Rebecca. We'll see you all
nice.
soon.
Different locations. If we are going to go to their classes, first we'll go narrow down to a location. There we go. Takes us to our website. This is a tough time because a lot of people have their classes closed out right now for summer. Yeah, it's a tough time to see classes listed out. Let's see, tricks, back into here. We can customize some of the things. That's part of this tricks as well. You can make a small table. And if I can get back into this devil, we'll see what's up. Okay. Yeah, it's Wix is not being my friend today at all. Is it just Swim Mac? Oh, I don't see that one. Hold on. I don't think I can see it. I closed chat. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. On the web registration form, if they're already a customer, they will go to, oh, let me explain that. That's perfect. Let me get there again. Ding, 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 ding. If I were to click here on this class and I'm already a customer, because I clicked on that class and you'll see that it's preloaded here for me. If I am a customer, I can click here and it takes me to the portal and it still preloads that class for an existing family. So you can still provide this form for new people and existing families. If they notice, if they were to go down and put their email address, it would tell them that they're already registered. Please go to the portal. But it's still going to preload that class for them. So it's not like if they're a customer, oh, I don't want to fill this in. And here's the class I chose. And you have to go search for it again in the portal. You don't. It's going to preload it and bring that up for you in the portal. So either one is going to work right there. Let's see. So let me get rid of drama. Okay, perfect. You got a swim mat, got a little bit of customization on here that we typically don't do is this orange button. We can try to help you do this, but that is a little bit of customization. But this is beautiful. It's big, it's nice, it's easy to see. And swim, of course, there's no genres. So private lessons, hey, we're coming to swim, so that's perfect. Let's see. It depends on your settings somebody asked about waitlist. It depends on your settings in Jackrabbit whether you have the option to show full classes. Even if they're full, you can display a waitlist if you have that on. So if this class is full, which clearly it is, there's 0 openings, I could join the waitlist. You can make this where this class doesn't show up at all, which is kind of rare because you kind of want people that are interested. So you can hide full classes, you can allow waitlist, and you can limit the number of waitlists on the class. That's all settings within Jackrabbit. So once you have this code, you're fine. Once you set up your code, and a lot of people will say to me, I don't have to log into the website. I need my classes on the website. You're going to have your editor or the person that does this, because in the code, if I had in here a session of 2223, a special session for 2223, and then all of a sudden I've got to change to 2324, that code, even though I have it set up in Jackrabbit, is going to have to be edited on the website to show that session, or don't show a session at all and just show all classes. So there is a ton of different customization for that, but you're going to have either the person that does this, or you're going to have to know that login, and we'll help you navigate if we can within the right platform. Most of them are pretty easy to figure out. We have hit a bunch of roadblocks though with a lot of stuff. So just give us a shot and let us know if we can help with customizing anything on your website. Carrie's real smart. She can figure anything out. So
Melissa, Talia is asking about when she doesn't see a wait list, when she doesn't see waitlisted classes, or when waitlist is full. Can you customize what it says? Can you show her how to go to the tricks page and go and have it say full instead of 0 for
absolutely.
the number of openings?
Maybe.
And there is also a setting in your database where you can choose whether or not you even want to show waitlists or allow waitlists.
Let's go. Are we here? Right here. So change all zeros in the openings column to display text such as full or please call me. So yes, you can put in a text label there for whatever you want. You missed out. You're out of luck. I don't know what you want to put there. You can put anything, but you can put that word right here. So when it's full, you can put that. Temporarily override to not show the classes. So that's a setting in Jackrabbit, and of course you have it here as well that you can put that in there if you don't want to show a full class. Maybe it's full and you're not maybe it's a one-off and you're not taking a wait list for it. You might not want to show that, but that is also, and the reason that this is split out here is maybe you don't want to show it for a certain table, but you want to allow it for the rest of them. So they give it to you in the code as well, so that you can hide a full class of a certain kind. It's not just a one and done type thing. An all over setting. It is in Jackrabbit, but if you have that on, you can do this certainly for one table. Can you link to the page with the parameters? Yes. This one? I hope this is the one that you want, David. Put that in chat. Let's see. Carrie, can you think of something else that we need to show?
I was just going to tell David that that's my favorite page in the
Gosh,
Help Center.
yeah.
I always just look up tricks.
Mhm.
I tell everybody to just look up tricks,
Mhm.
and you'll get it.
Yep. It used to be tips and tricks a long time ago. They changed it to tricks, but it's got a lot of different things that you can do here. Also available, if you really want to take a deep dive into it, we offer the JSON API, and if you are at all interested in raw data, you can strip this data down and make this table look exactly like you want and do a lot of stuff, but that's beyond us. We don't assist with JSON and that API on making that. We can help you with these tables, but that's as far as we go. Let's see, did I forget something else? Tips and tricks. You can schedule.
Well, there was the wildcards cert, or the special characters.
This guy.
The problems with special characters, especially the %20, kind of scares people sometimes. That if there's a space in the name of one of your sessions, and you have to either leave the space in there when you're making the code, but browser windows will put in a %20 in there. So just that scares people sometimes, but that just means there's a space in it.
Yeah, and when you get to, we've had plenty where we've built the code and we'll send it over for you, and we try to test it on our side before we send it to you just to make sure that it's going to work. Be careful. I know a lot of people can have some big long names here. It can just make a nightmare on your coding because you have to match it completely exactly as it is. Now, one thing I want to mention is if we go in and say, oh no, we want to allow 15 to this class. If this is in a table and we change that max, it's going to automatically update on that code. So you don't have to, it's not like you have to go 2 places. You don't have to go to the website and in Jackrabbit to update it. Once you make changes in here, and suppose you change this from Monday to Tuesday, it's automatically going to change in that code over on the website. Changing the names, any information you change on the class is going to update in that code over there on the website. So you don't have to worry about that. If you delete a class, it's going to go away. It's not like it's going to stay out there and you're going to get people randomly enrolling in it. That doesn't happen. It can go away from here. I think that's about it, Carrie, unless you can think of something else.
Well, back on that edit all page that
Yep.
you were just on, did you talk about display on website, allow online reg, and allow portal?
No, let's do that. This is your 5th column. This is where I live all the time. So when they say the code is on the website, my classes aren't showing up and registration opens today, what can I do? We get those all the time. This will be your first check, is classes and edit all classes in Jackrabbit. It's the 5th column over, and what this means is, if I can stretch it out, and of course today it's not going to let me do it. There we go. What this means is up in the global search right here, if we go display on website, this one would be yes. So we can always display it on website. That doesn't mean they can do anything to it. The second one is allow online registration. That's your new people that's going to use your web reg form. Then the third one is allow portal. So you can say yes or no to that. And what this is good for is if you do priority enrollment, you can turn classes on only for the portal registration and not allow the general public to register in a class yet. So a lot of people will do that. They'll turn this one on first, leave this one off for a day or two, and then allow the general public to get in. The last two are allow trials and allow makeups. So you can choose those, but that doesn't have anything really to do with how it displays. These top 3 do, if it's displaying on the website or not. There's another setting beyond that. So if this is right, you can flip all this to yes, and you can set what this is called the reg start date. So if we wanted to start registration on Monday the 15th, we could set everything to yes, display, allow enrollment, everything is on, ready to go. But if we have this date set to 5/15, they are not going to be available for registration until 12 o'clock on the night, on the Sunday night. 12:01 is when it's going to flip over. So you don't have to go in here and set it. The only reason you might want to manually go in and do it is if you say, I'm going to open registration at 10 a.m. and that's it. You can go in and flip that, but otherwise it's going to be a midnight setting where it flips over on the day that you have it here. One other setting to check, and I know we're throwing a lot at you at one time, is on your online registration settings. Is down in the bottom, towards the bottom, we have the option here to show the register links. Sometimes this will be flipped to no, and then show full classes is yes. And this is where you can put in your, are we going to allow the wait list? Yes. But show the register link. So if they say, hey, our website, it's on the website, the table's there, but there's no register button. Oftentimes that's what that is, or it's the one that we don't allow web registration at this time for either current people or existing people. So there's a couple settings that we have to check. But if you have any issues like this at all, please just message us and we'll jump in and see what we can find. I think that's about it. Do we have any other questions?
And how do they contact us?
Right. Oh, we have a special yes, we get this a lot. Thank you, Carrie, for that. On our, I wonder if it's on here. Where is our email address for our group? Integration. We can also, it's not related to this, we can help you with your events calendar as well.
It's on the bottom of this page.
Is it?
Right there. Oh, right above related.
Right
articles,
here.
right
Okay. So online reg, I'll put this link. I'll put that in the chat as well. On the bottom so you can send in a ticket. But I just want to stress to the fact that if you're going to tell us what codes you need, tell us how you want them split out. We often need the name of the classes, so we get very vague information a lot when you tell us that you need HTML codes for this, this, and this. Tell us exactly so that we know what we can get for you. I think that's about it. Can you think of anything else, Carrie?
Well, Martha had asked, adding the time is new, correct? I'm not sure
No,
that we have anything new with adding a time.
You can add times. I don't think that page has been changed in forever as far as showing the times of the class.
Oh, for the registration to open.
Oh.
No, there's not a way to change that time. You would just have to go to edit all classes at that time and flip them all to
yeah,
available.
if it's a certain time, if you want it, because people oftentimes don't want, parents waiting up at midnight to get in classes. There's plenty that do. But if you say, hey, we're going to open at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you have to manually go in there and turn those on edit all classes. At that certain time, you'd have to go in and do that and turn this. But yeah, there's not a time, only a date, which is that reg date. Simply because of the time zones, it wouldn't know what time you were to do that. So, oh, what a mess. Thanks for putting up with me in the Wix site. I'm going to shut that thing down and go re-log into that. Jeez Louise. But we're here to help you guys if you need us. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye.